The regulation shift is monumental. I mean, it's the biggest regulation shift I think our sport has seen, at least in my time. But every single time that it has been a shift into a new regulation, it's been a massive challenge. Everyone starts from scratch, so it really levels the playing field. And then it's really all about development, who can develop faster, who comes up with the best ideas, and then a unified team rowing at the same pace. I mean, I think the way the sport is evolving and the way the technology has evolved into this period of time, I mean, the drivers have always, I mean, if you look back at 2009, there's a period of time where we were utilizing the battery power throughout the laps. This one's even more extreme, where we're having to utilize the power in a different way. I think it's going to be massively, I mean, it is the most technical year that we'll have. I think the driver's role is going to be critical in not only pulling laps together and delivering good results, but managing the power unit, managing the power through a lap, and also the new kind of DRS system that we have with the wings, the front and the rear wing moving, and then helping the team navigate. And the only way is through collaboration, through communication, and that's really where I think the drivers get to play a really key role in helping them discover exactly where we need to be going with these cars. I think I mean, as drivers, we adapt. That's what we do. So I don't see it being it's going to be a massive challenge this year for sure, for every driver to adapt to particularly the power unit. I think the aero side of things, I'm not seeing that to be massively different in the sense that, okay, our front wing drops away, we have a lot less drag down the straights, so we'll be much, much quicker. It's going to be interesting to see how that works when you're potentially overtaking, but we've had DRS for many, many years, and so I think that it's an evolution of that. The power unit, however, is a lot different, and whilst it's still the V6, recharging this battery, the D rates that you have, and really trying to understand how to utilize the power per straight, and recover the most and be the most efficient. I mean, this is the period of time where you have to learn to be the most efficient driver that you've ever been, and that's utilizing all the tools you have in your armory as a driver to save fuel, to recharge power, utilize the power, use the grip, and put all these things together. I think it's going to take a lot of work from the engineers to communicate and help the drivers to be able to extract everything and its full potential. Well, I miss the Tifosi. I mean, it's magical when you're at Ferrari and you get to experience the Tifosi. I remember my first day here last year, and turn one of Ferrano, seeing a crowd of the Tifosi there. That was the first feeling and experience I had on the receiving end of that. And we see them everywhere we go, all around the world. The support means a huge amount, not only to the drivers, but to everyone in the team. And we couldn't do what we do without them. Their support means the absolute most. And so I'm really hopeful that with their support and with the hard work that everyone's putting in, that we can have a strong year. You know, that's the dream.
It's certainly going to change a little bit the preparation to this new season, as there are so many new things that there will most likely be a lot more meetings around new systems and the way the car works, because as a driver it's very important to understand how each single systems work in order to be ready once we get to the track. And there's also been a lot of work in the background in order to make sure that we get to this first test and then first race as ready as possible. But it's, I think, an opportunity and a very exciting challenge as a driver and as a team to have so many new things. And we are motivated to take that challenge. The fact that I've been in Ferrari for many years now, and the fact that we've also lived together quite a few new technical cycle, helps us to be prepared for this kind of changes, even though this is a change that is much bigger than everything we've experienced so far. It's a big challenge, but I felt that the experience that we've built together in order to be ready straight from the get-go with a completely new car is something that gives me trust and confidence going in the future. But it's a very, very difficult challenge, and this we are very much aware. There's a lot of work in the background, and only the track will talk once we will put the car on the ground. But the preparation, the hard work and the motivation is there. And also the fact, again, that we've been working for so many years together definitely helps for that change. I mean, with these new F1 cars, there are many, many, many new things. Basically, everything is completely new. I'll probably say that the power unit change is something that is probably the most significant, and that will require the most adaptation to take the most out of it. So just the way the power unit feels, the way to manage it in battles, racing, I think this is probably the most interesting and thing I'm looking most forward to. It's a fine line between adapting to new technology and just using your natural instinct and what I've always done since I'm 3.5, which is driving a car. But at the end, the two goes quite together. I'll say that instinctively and naturally, as soon as I drive the car, you kind of understand where you need to go in terms of driving. And then that is backed by a lot of work behind the scene in order to understand maybe the last tricks that there may be with some specific cars, that only data will give you the real answer to that. But instinct is still extremely important, and probably the first few laps I will do with this new car, it will only be through the instinct and what I feel is right at that moment. And then you back it off with the data and work to try and find things that maybe are a lot more difficult to feel because they are much tinier details. But this will come in a second time. First instinct, and then second, as soon as I have a good picture of what the car needs, then I'll back myself with data in order to understand what I need to do. I can only thank them for the huge amount of support we have every single year. And that definitely pushes us, that motivates us, and that is what makes Ferrari so special. It's thanks to the Tifosi and the support that we have all over the world, and we are giving it absolutely everything in the backstage, and we are really looking forward to put the car on the ground and to see how it goes.